Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sawyer Center, where the Crimson Storm have returned from a long road trip. But during that long road trip, they didn't get a win while they were on there after October 14th, where they beat Southern Arkansas in a 3-0 sweep. Since then, five in a row the Crimson Storm have lost. Welcome to the Sawyer Center on SNUathletics.com. I'm John Hale with you tonight in the booth. It's going to be a wonderful night tonight as the Crimson Storm host East Central on this beautiful but rather chilly Halloween evening over here in Bethany. This is the longest losing streak since the 2015 season, and the Crimson Storm have not lost 6 straight since 2012, so they hope to avoid that skid. However, SNU hosts an ECU team that has had a ton of success with over the years. A win over the Tigers tonight would be the 11th straight over East Central and would keep the home record against ECU perfect at 7-0. The lone win in the series for the Tigers came in 2012 when the Tigers swept SNU in Ada. The Storm already have a 3-1 win over the Tigers earlier this year as Bailey Terang had 23 kills and a career-high 20 digs in a 3-1 victory in Ada. But now the Tigers come to Bethany. SNU also tries to avoid 5 straight losses at home for the first time under head coach Kevin Ingram. Since joining Division II, the Crimson Storm are 47-21 inside the Sawyer Center. However, not so good this year for the Crimson Storm under their home roof. They're 4-8 on their year so far. Elise Berlin is just 7 assists away from moving into 4th all-time in school history. The senior has 2,454 career assists and trails Crystal Mell, who played from 1998 to 2001. Callie Smith is also just 13 assists away from becoming the 13th player in school history to reach 1,000 assists in a career. Berlin is also 5th all-time in school history with 1,381 digs. Michelle Pape, who played from 2003 to 2006, stands 4th with 1,801 kills. Bailey Terang still leads the GAC in kills per set at 3.88 and has 361 on the year. She also leads in points per set at 4.25 with 395.5 coming this season. Megan Ellis is 3rd in aces per set at 0.4 and has 37 on the year, while Smith is 4th at 9.94 and has 926 this season. 4 different players have recorded double-doubles this season as Smith, Terang, Ellis, and Hannah Davis all have at least one this year. Smith leads the way with 14, while Terang has 11. And Smith also has a triple-double to her name so far this year. Coming into tonight, the Crimson Storm are in a tie with 3 other teams for 5th place in the GAC as they are the defending Great American Conference Tournament champs. Arkansas Tech is leading the way, and they are leading well ahead. They are now in the top 10 in the country, ladies and gentlemen. The Golden Suns are 12-0 in the conference and 28-0 on the year. An impressive run for the Golden Suns. The Harding Bisons are right behind them with 1 loss. That 1 loss, of course, coming to Arkansas Tech. Oklahoma Baptist trails the Bisons at 9-3. Northwestern having a great year so far at 8-4. And here's where the tie comes in. Ouachita, Southern Nazarene, and Southwestern Oklahoma State all stand at 500 in the conference at 6-6. And as the season is starting to wind down here in the coming weeks, we'll see just how those 2 teams separate, because we know that Southwestern Oklahoma State still has a game to play in Bethany, and Southeastern Oklahoma State is going to come down SNU has to travel to Southeastern Oklahoma State, and that will be on Thursday. The final home game for the Crimson Storm is that Southwestern Oklahoma State game on the 7th of November. After that, they play at Oklahoma Baptist, and then a week later, if they crack the top 8, they will move into the GAC tournament. Southwestern Oklahoma State, there at the bottom, as mentioned, they're tied with SNU as with Ouachita. Henderson State right below them at 5-7. Arkansas Monticello Southeastern stands at 5-7. Henderson stands at 4-8. Arkansas Monticello and East Central come in at 2 wins and 10 losses each. And down there is poor Southern Arkansas at 1-11 on the year and 8-19 on the road. But they did win their last game. They finally clinched a win in their last contest. Other games going on this wonderful Halloween evening. Southern Arkansas is traveling to Harding for a tough match. Arkansas Tech playing Arkansas Monticello. Northwestern Oklahoma State and Southeastern Oklahoma State play. That will end up being a interesting game. And Washita Henderson State will play tonight. We are 3.5 minutes away from the first serve when we have starting lineups and the first serve, of course. Keep it right here on SNUathletics.com. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about set to get underway here inside the Sawyer Center. Starting lineup for the Tigers of East Central. Number 11, Brianna Waldo. Number 19, Diana Ettin. Number 16, Audra Jonas. Number 14, Karina Aragwin. And number 3, Sydney Dungan. And number 10, at the libero position, Lily Porsa. For the Crimson Storm, Michaela Benner re-enters after a long hiatus from an injury. She's joined by Kylie Smith, McKenna Hunter, Megan Ellis, Bailey Terang, and Elise Berlin at the libero. We're underway here as Crimson Storm have started. Berlin's going to try to find Terang. It's going to be miscommunication. Free ball for the Crimson Storm. Smith to Hunter. Unable to get it down onto the court. Miscommunication there by Jonas and Aragwin. Point Crimson Storm as Hunter checks out and brings in Kayla Thomas, the freshman from New Braunfels. Elise Berlin to serve. All right, finding, it's going to sail out of bounds. That was number 19, Ettin. That was the correct pronunciation, Ettin. Crimson Storm wearing gray uniforms with hot pink numbers, as Aragwin gets the first kill for the Tigers. 2-1 now the score. It is pink out here, as you can see. There's a pink out theme. We'll get you a look at the sides and the fans. Megan Ellis finds Smith to Terang, and she's able to get it down. Point Crimson Storm. Hannah Davis checks in for Benner. Expect Michaela Benner to be limited tonight as she is still struggling from a surgery that she had earlier this offseason. Hannah Davis to serve now. Gets a high. Finding Aaron blocked at the net. Point Crimson Storm on a forward touch rule. As I was saying, the Crimson Storm wearing gray jerseys with hot pink numbers. Elise Berlin, the libero, wearing a hot pink jersey with a gray number. And the Tigers wearing traditional black and orange with the libero wearing orange and black. Getting the dump is number 3, Sydney Dungan. 4-2 now is the score. Aragwin back to serve. Finding Ellis. Smith is going to find Thomas. Off the wrong part of the hands for the Tigers. Point Crimson Storm. And it is a packed student section off to my left. To get you a view of that in just a moment. And that is a net violation, or it's a double touch more rather, by the Tigers. Crimson Storm pull out to a 4-point lead, leading 6-2. Terang back to serve with that big windup she has. And it goes out of bounds this particular time. Brings the Tigers back within 3. The Crimson Storm faithful getting rather loud behind that server. Smith finds Thomas. Looks like that went off the head of a Tiger. Berlin's able to get it up. Smith trying to find the corner, and it went off the hand. I thought it went off the hand. Refs didn't see it that way. Back to serve now coming in is Macy Kurtz. Davis gets the dig. Back to Smith. Ellis at the net, and it is tapped down by a Tiger. Tigers back to a 1-point deficit. Davis back to Smith. Thomas. Tigers are able to get to it. They're going to have to send it over. Davis again, back to Smith, back to Thomas. A little bit of a tip over. The libero gets it. Smith finds Ellis. Off the net and out of bounds. We are tied at 6. Kurtz still back to serve. Back to Ellis again, trying to get redemption for that last one. Terang's going to get it. Give it to Smith. Thomas, who hits it back towards the libero, dug up. And Terang is not able to get it over the net. Tigers with their first lead of the night. That took a bad bounce. Expect a timeout from Coach Kevin Ingram momentarily. Kurt still serving, having a good run so far. Davis, Smith, Ellis. Hits it over. Blocked at the net by Thomas and puts that ECU run to a stop. Tie back up at 7. Checked in for the Tigers is number 7, Taylor Turner, and number 9, Madeline Mayer. Thomas back to serve, finds Turner. Bailey Terang able to get it up. Now Smith trying to push it towards the corner. It's able to be dug up rather easily. Blocked at the net and out of bounds. Tigers with the lead again. There's a sub coming in for the Tigers. It is, can't quite see a number yet. It is number 6. That would be Micah Rogers. Rogers enters the game. Or excuse me, that is number 5. 5 is Abby Werman. And that is McKenna Hunter. McKenna Hunter doesn't get a lot of the big-time numbers that her counterparts do as Benner checks back in, but when she gets able to get a serve, or excuse me, an attack down, she usually gets the kill. Smith back to serve. And a bad dig. It just went straight into the floor by number 5, Werman. Crimson Storm have regained the lead now. 9-8. Smith still serving. Werman to Turner. And that is a great attack and kill by number 19, Diana Etienne. The libero, number 10, Lily Porsa back to serve now. We are tied at 9. Megan Ellis gives it to Smith. And initially blocked, but just on the wrong side. Benner gets a kill. That is her first kill so far tonight. Megan Ellis, top 4 in the GAC in aces. And it was Elise Berlin who just got on the wrong side of that one. Still tied at 10. Not either team is having trouble separating from each other. And a great serve by number 3, Sydney Duncan. It's unable to be, just kind of died as soon as it got over the net. Tigers currently have the lead, 11-10 over the Crimson Storm. Megan Ellis to Smith, to Terang. Off the hands, Bailey Terang. Difficult to be denied. Elise Berlin back to serve now. She just kind of dips one over as well. And that one is back towards the corner, and another point for the Tigers. That was number 16, Audra Jonas. Is Etienne to serve. Barely got over the net. Smith is going to get to Ellis, who delivers a shot from the midcourt. Free ball here for the SNU. Terang's going to find, or excuse me, Berlin found Terang. Should have let that one go, as a net violation by the Crimson Storm is going to give the Tigers a 2-point lead. And there's the first timeout taken by either team, and it's Coach Kevin Ingram who calls the first timeout. His team down 13-11. Don't go anywhere. We're halfway through the first set here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Tigers have a 2-point lead on the Crimson Storm. Ed team back to serve. Found chase to Smith to Thomas. Flies out of bounds. Thomas usually gets that one down, but not that time. East Central now with a 3-point lead. Second to last in the GAC. Berlin to Smith. Finds Thomas. And it's able to dance around the net and finally land on the ECU side. Crimson Storm finally cut that skid without getting a point. Hannah Davis back to serve now for the Crimson Storm. Down 2, 14-12 in favor of ECU. Able to be dug up. Smith is going to find Terang. And a bad dig by Dungan. Crimson Storm back within 1. Hannah Davis back to serve again. Over by Etienne. Dungan. Smith. Terang just kind of punches it over. Porsa. Dug up by Berlin. Smith. Davis. Kind of short arms it. Blocked at the net by a combo of Terang and Thomas. Point Crimson Storm. We're tied back up at 14. So that run by the Tigers is negated. We are tied back up. Hannah Davis. It's able to go over the net, and it's blocked at the net by the Crimson Storm. Award that one to Kylie Smith, all alone. That's usually easy pickings for a tall mid blocker. Davis. And it is very poorly attacked on by Araguen. Waldo's in the game now as she has taken a few hits for the Tigers. Davis finds Waldo, and Waldo's going to send it back over on the attack, dug up by Ellis. Smith's going to find Terang on the court. No chance. Bailey Terang out of Corona, California. Hannah Davis back to serve again as number 12, Mackenzie Davis, is going to enter for 16, Audra Jonas. Davis finds Dungan. Berlin able to dig it up. Terang, again, Bailey Terang. Now the Crimson Storm are on a bit of a run themselves. They now lead 18-14. Getting the most out of that timeout by Kevin Ingram. Davis still serving. Back to Porsa. Dungan. That's Araguen. Thomas She gets a kill. Thomas on that slide to the right side of the court. East Central's coach, Melissa Anderson, has seen enough. Timeout taken by the Tigers. Crimson Storm currently lead 19-14 in the first set. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Hannah Davis still back to serve. SNU currently on I believe it is an 8-0 run, and just like that, it is an 8-1 run as the Tigers finally get an error from Davis as it goes straight into the net right out of the ECU timeout. And it is quickly returned by an error by Araguin. Porso checks back in for the Tigers. Crimson Storm 5 points away from a set 1 win. It's Bailey Terang back to serve now. Right there in the middle, a big attack. Davis able to rally. It's just hit over by Thomas. Into the net. Point, Crimson Storm after Waldo errant attack. Checked into the game now is number 9, Madeline Mayer, who is putting down some very powerful attacks for the Tigers. Bailey Terang hits one to the net. Tigers still within 5. So Dungan checks back out in favor of Macy Kurtz, who will go back to serve. This pink out evening. Happy Halloween to you all. Please stay safe this evening, wherever you are. Kurtz back to serve. Picks it to Terang. Smith finds Thomas. It's able to be dug up by the Tigers, and they're just going to give SNU the free ball. Bailey Terang. Thomas. He's going to almost get it on the floor, not quite. Free ball, Smith. Going to try and dump it over. ECU's in good position right here. They give it back to SNU. Smith, another dump. They're able to keep it going. This is a long rally. Berlin to Smith to Thomas. And they get to that one. Another free ball. Megan Ellis pushes it back over. Now ECU with an opportunity. Mayer. Smith. Back to Ellis, who just tips it over. Back to Davis. Berlin just hits it over. Porsa, Turner, Mayer. And it's still going. A great rally from the Crimson Storm. Hits the net. Crimson Storm with the point on a net error by the Tigers. Wow. Talk about a rally that just went on till Tuesday. Or excuse me, went on till Wednesday. A couple of big rallies and big digs by both teams as we're back at it. Thomas, Smith, Hunter, onto the court, McKenna Hunter. One of the most underrated attackers on this SNU team. Thomas back to serve, finds Porsa. Back to Turner. Mayer hits the antenna, and the line judges are quick to jump on that. It is set point for the Crimson Storm, 24-16. Thomas, Turner, back to Mayer. Bad communication there between Thomas and Terang. Still set point, though. Back to serve for the Tigers is number 5, Abby Werman. Werman back to Terang. Smith finds Hunter in the middle, and McKenna Hunter ends the first set. Crimson Storm takes set 1 by a score of 25-17. As the two teams switch benches. We go over some quick stats for you right here. Aragwin led the Tigers with 3 kills. Waldo's right behind her with 2 kills. Mayer, Dungan, and Etienne check in with 1 kill each. Etienne has 4 digs. Kurtz leads the way in digs with 5, as well as Porsa. Leading the way in assists is Turner with 4. On the other side for the Crimson Storm, 3 kills for Hunter, 5 for Terang, and 2 for Benner and Thomas each. Leading the way in terms of assists is Davis with 6, followed by Terang, who also has 5 digs. In assists, Kylie Smith with 12 so far tonight. 1 ace for Kylie Smith. She is the only, along with her and Dungan, are the only 2 to record an ace in the first set. 2 minutes away from set number 2. Stay right here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center on this wonderful Halloween evening. Crimson Storm take the first set by a score of 25-17. Megan Ellis going to serve for the first serve of the second set. Berlin finding Terang. Off the hands, too high for the rest of the Tigers. First point of the second set goes to the Crimson Storm, picking up where they left off. Megan Ellis back to serve again. And we have a quick intermission while the ref is telling the the Crimson Storm faithful who have switched sides of the court to watch their feet so they don't interrupt with the play. Here come the Tigers again. It's blocked at the beginning by Mayer. Smith's going to find Ellis in the middle. Porsa finds Kurtz. Ellis with another dig. Smith back to Terang. And just beyond the line, Bailey Terang. As it goes out of bounds, Tigers tie up the Crimson Storm 1 apiece early in the second set. It's Etienne, Smith, Michaela Benner. Smith finds Berlin, back to Terang. Tigers able to dig it up. Terang gets another dig. Smith, Benner, and it's still alive as it danced on the net. High enough for the Tigers to get a piece of it, and they fly out. That's number 11, Brianna Waldo, who can't quite find the line. Point Crimson Storm. Berlin back to serve now. She sends it to the Tigers. It's Mayer in the middle. Benner with an off-speed attack finds the hole. No one's home. Looks like she was going in full swing, but then backed up a little bit. Caught the blocker sleeping. And that is a kill for the Tigers as Waldo makes up for her past mistake. Brings the Tigers back within 1. It's Porsa back to serve now for the Tigers. Smith able to get it up and give it to Thomas, who sends it over. Looking in the middle is the Tigers. Back over to the Crimson Storm. Berlin back to Benner, and it is still alive. Looking for Waldo again, who hits it out of bounds. Point Crimson Storm once again. They lead by 2, 4-2. So Benner's going to check out for Hannah Davis. Hannah Davis sends it over. Looking for Waldo again. Berlin finds Terang. And it's able just to be pushed, but Tigers able to dig it up. Still alive, and they're going to call it for the Tigers. We're back within 1 now. 4-3, SNU leading inside the Sawyer Center. Kurtz enters the game. She's back to serve. Back to Berlin. Smith finds Thomas, who just kind of pushes it over. Tigers able to get to that one. As it hits against the net, that's a 4-touch rule. Point Crimson Storm. Bailey Terang back to serve now with that big windup. It's dug up by Porsa. Trying to catch him off guard. No can do. Porsa finds Waldo. Terang. Smith. Ellis. Porsa gets the dig. Back to Turner. Waldo is blocked at the net, but they're going to call a antenna call and give it to SNU, or excuse me, give the point to East Central. The foul's on SNU after the block attempt hit the antenna. Davis finds Smith. Looking for Thomas, blocked at the net. Point Tigers, they tie it up. 5-5 apiece in the second set. Crimson Storm looking for their first sweep since October 14th. Thomas in the middle, able to be dug up. Smith finds Ellis. Just inside, still alive, but they kind of lost focus. The Tigers thought it was over and done with between number 5, Abby Werman, and Porsa. Still alive, no call was made. Crimson Storm retake the lead 6-5 now. Kayla Thomas to serve. Turner. Smith just kind of pushes it over. Tigers going to have to be able to get to this and just give a free ball. Ellis, Smith dumps it into the middle. It's still alive. Another free ball for the Storm. Smith just finishes the job. Finds the middle. She missed it on the first try, and they miraculously dug it up. Callie Smith finishes the job. Finishes the job she started. Crimson Storm lead by 2. Thomas still back to serve. So here comes Thomas. Turner finds Etienne, who gets a kill off of Terang, who couldn't quite dig it up properly. Thomas checks out for Berlin. Davis gets the dig. Terang in the middle, flies out of bounds. We're tied up at 7 apiece. Davis to Smith to Hunter. Flies out of bound, point for the Crimson Storm. McKenna Hunter very wise not to hit the ball back off the attempted block. So she'll get awarded the kill. Callie Smith back to serve. Werman back to Turner to Etienne. Point. 2-touch rule. Tigers are awarded an error, and the Crimson Storm are awarded a point. Crimson Storm take a 2-point lead. Smith on a big serve. Turner finds Mayer. Went by the hands of Michaela Benner. And onto the court. Tigers keep it within 1 point. On the court for the Storm, Hunter, Benner, Terang, Berlin, Ellis, and Smith. Ellis to Smith. Back to Ellis. Into the net. We're tied back up at 9. This set is a little bit closer than the first. Ellis gets the serve. Benner just tries to push it over. It's able to be dug up easily. Terang able to get to it. Smith pushes it over. Horsa sets it up. Mayer back to Hunter. Hunter just going to have to push it over on the attempt, and because they weren't paying attention, Hunter's going to get another kill. Just kind of hit it over, expecting a free ball attack from the Tigers, but no one was paying attention for East Central. And Hunter very joyfully surprised. So here come the Tigers again. Terang, or excuse me, and here, I believe that's still going. I don't know how. Benner trying to get the attack, nothing doing. Push over, Smith gets the dig. Benner onto the court, Michaela Benner coming back from a long hiatus. Central Point and SNU's GAC Conference Tournament Championship team working the middle of the court. Ellis sends it back over to Kurtz. Looking for Kurtz again, who just pushes it over. Terang, Smith to Benner again, sends it over. Kurtz finds Etienne. Smith pushes it way back. Are they going to get to it? Yes, they will. Etienne again. Ellis, Smith, Hunter, able to be dug up. Horsa finds Etienne again. Able to get it back to her own team is Smith. Free ball for the Tigers. Blocked at the net. We're still going. Smith finds Terang. Blocked at the net. So 2 long rallies for both teams already. One went to the Crimson Storm. That one just happened to go to the Tigers. 11-10, SNU ahead of East Central. The last time the Crimson Storm swept the team was also the last time they won. Ellis to Smith to Hunter, who just had enough of that. Seems like it goes straight into the court when McKenna Hunter attacks. Making a beeline for the hardwood. Here comes Berlin back to serve for the Storm. Dug up. Dungan gave it to Mayer. Mayer sends it out of bounds. Crimson Storm now up 3. Berlin still serving. Blocked at the net. Crimson Storm get another point as the attack by Waldo was blocked. And into the center of the court, nobody's home. Berlin still serving. Crimson Storm up 4. Berlin to Smith to Benner. Porsa able to dig it up. Mayer this time. Smith now pushing. Here we go again. Porsa. That time dug up by Berlin. To Ellis. Gives the attack. Dungan gives it to Kurtz, who is dug up. Berlin. Benner. Etienne gets the dig. Waldo this time. Terang's able to get it over. Free ball for the Tigers. Waldo sends it way, way out of bounds. Point for the Crimson Storm. They now lead by 5. I don't know if it just hit wrong off Waldo's hand or what, but it was well beyond the line. Crimson Storm head to the bench as Coach Anderson takes a timeout. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. In the second set, the Crimson Storm lead the ECU Tigers 15-10. Still on a big run as the Crimson Storm see how Berlin serves it out of the timeout. Here we go again. Blocked at the net, attempted by Terang, goes beyond her hands. Tigers break that streak as they are now down by 4. Porsa to serve. Terang. Smith. It's Benner. Dungeon. And that time it's Thomas who's able to get the kill as the Tigers aren't able to pick it up. Hannah Davis back to serve now as Crimson Storm reestablish a 5-point lead. Looking for blocked at the net by Terang. Just went the wrong way. Point for the Tigers. Taylor Turner will check back into the game for Dungeon. Kurtz to serve to Davis. Smith finds Terang. Off balance attack. Porsa is able to get it back to the court. Free ball for the Crimson Storm. And they kind of waste an opportunity there as Berlin can't handle the dig. Goes beyond her hands. Now the Tigers trying to make a run of their own. It's Kurtz back to serve once again. Smith finds Terang, who gets right behind it, but it's able to be dug up. Jonas back to Smith, who sends it back over. Blocked at the net, still alive. Flies out of bounds as Kurtz. Point for the Crimson Storm. And look who's coming in. Someone I have not called all year. Evetta Soma, the freshman from Manville, Texas, a 5'9" outside hitter. I have yet to see her on the Sawyer Center floor this year. It's Terang. Turner's gonna set up another one. That was number 16, Jonas, who fires it out of bounds. Crimson Storm back up to a 5-point lead. Bailey Terang. Big windup, big serve. Off the hands, just couldn't be handled by Araguen. I don't know if she just wasn't ready for it. Nevertheless, biggest lead the Crimson Storm have had in the second set at 6 points. Terang. It's going back to Turner, who's setting up Araguen. It's able to be dug up. And it's Soma who tries to get on the action. No one can get in the middle of the court, though, as the Tigers able to get a point, stop that run. We're back to the exact same point that we were in the first set. Crimson Storm up 19-14 on the Tigers from East Central out of Ada, Oklahoma. Berlin, back to Smith. Soma. It's high in the air. They're going to be able to get to it. Kurtz gets it. Porsa gives it back. Soma again, that was Thomas that time. Etienne, now to Thomas. Still alive, unable to get to it. Berlin couldn't quite get it up high enough. 19-15 now. Tigers trying to rally and stay in this thing. Hannah Davis sets up Smith to Thomas, able to be dug up. And an off-balance attack from Diana Etienne. Kayla Thomas back to serve now as they have reached the 20-point mark. Turner sets up Araguen. Soma off the hand, still alive. Turner sets up Etienne. Smith, Terang. Picked up by Kurtz. Etienne again. Back to Thomas. Smith to Soma, who daps it over, still alive. Hits over by Smith. Terang gets the dig. Smith dumps it over, still going here. Etienne again. Thomas able to get to it, but not in time. Tigers get the point. Couple of long runs in this match. Araguen now. Smith sets up Hunter, who hits it right into the net. That's the downside of her attacks. They either make beelines to the floor or beelines to the net. Araguen still serving. Smith setting up Soma. Soma still looking for her first kill. And that time, it cannot be handled from Etienne. Timeout taken by Kevin Ingram as the Tigers have rallied back from being 6 down. They are now only 2 down now. We'll be right back after this here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back here to SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm hold a 20-18 lead on the ECU Tigers. We're trying to put this game away, but ECU has gone on a pretty long run. So you look down on the bottom of your screen, you see the green M&M. Those are a couple of football players celebrating the holiday. Look off to my right. They've switched sides. I see a lot of jerseys. Think I see a couple of prison inmates, and I see the original. I see the original Nazarene himself, Jesus of Nazareth, over there. A lot of great costumes today. So we are waiting from the referee to see what the problem is. As it is Halloween, it is also Pink Out Night. As you see the Crimson Storm wearing gray and pink or pink and gray jerseys. So we try to spook away breast cancer. And we are ready to go. Karina Aragwin is now back to serve, trying to bring her team back. Terang finds Smith to Soma, who is able to be dug up. Etienne that time. Smith just taps it over. Blocked at the net. Smith tries to find the back corner. Can't quite get to it. Tigers now within one. Aragwin still serving. Terang. Smith. Hunter. Blocked at the net. Still going. And they're able to get it out of the net. Don't know how, but Turner's going to give it now in for the Tigers. Smith trying to put down a hard one. Taylor finds Etienne. Smith to Soma. Still going now. Etienne blocked at the net. Soma. Smith tries to find the middle, and she does. Kylie Smith ends the onslaught by the Tigers now. Smith is going back to serve. On the court for the Tigers, number 12, Mackenzie Davis. And Werman has checked back in. Smith to serve. Taylor finds Etienne. Dug up by Benner. Smith at the middle line. Taylor blocked at the net. That's McKenna Hunter. Putting in some big stats today. Smith back to serve now. Crimson Storm have rebuilt a 3-point lead so far. Etienne's able to get it up. Smith sends it back. Kurt's able to dig it up. Smith finds Etienne again. Berlin sets up Benner, unable to get it down. Kurt's just gonna have to sends it into the net. Off balance attack, and Coach Melissa Anderson with another timeout. Crimson Storm get to the bottle point first. They are up 23-19 right now in the second set. Don't go away. We'll have the conclusion of the second set and the beginning of the third set here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. here on SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm trying to get out of the second set. It's Kylie Smith to serve. Back to the Tigers. Turner finds Davis, and Davis going to get a much-needed kill for the Tigers. They are down by 3, trying to keep SNU from taking a commanding 2-0 lead in this one. It's Turner back to serve. Terang, Smith. Benner is too high, just got too much height for Benner to get her fingers on it. Turner still back to serve as the Crimson Storm have a 2-point lead, 23-21. Soma's able to get to it, a tough one. And Bailey Terang unable to grab a hold of it. Tigers back in within 1, trying to steal away the second set from the Crimson Storm. Turner back to serve again. Berlin, Smith, and that one's just a poor performance there by the Crimson Storm. Just couldn't quite grab a hold of it. Timeout, Kevin Ingram. It's the 1st to 2 now. Whoever can get a 2-point advantage on their opponent first is going to walk away with set 2. We'll have that exciting conclusion right after this. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Megan Ellis checks back in for Soma. 23-23 here in the second set as Turner's back to serve for the Tigers. Terang finds Smith. Ellis onto the court. Megan Ellis makes an immediate impact. Set point for the Crimson Storm now as she goes back to serve. Megan Ellis serving. Here come the Tigers. Turner finds Etienne blocked at the nets, and no one's home. Wasn't thinking she was going to give it over that soon. We're tied at 24. This one will go past 25. It's Jonas back to serve now. Berlin finds Smith. Benner in the middle. Picked up by Porsa. Kurtz. Ellis just going to hit it back over. Free ball for the Tigers. Turner. Hit over by Waldo, and it hits the antenna. Point Crimson Storm, and set point again. Or excuse me, that one's going to go against the Crimson Storm. The Crimson Storm hit the antenna on the block attempt. That's the second time today. Berlin, Smith, Terang, out of bounds. And the Tigers steal away set 2 as they storm back to beat the Crimson Storm in the second set. We're going to set 3, and I see 4 sets in our future here in the Sawyer Center. Don't go away on SNUathletics.com. Happy Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for set 3 between the Tigers and the Storm as we are set to go. Megan Ellis sends down a scorcher to begin the third set. As the Crimson Storm, I imagine, are rather angry after letting the second set slip away from them after having their opponent down by 6. Etienne finds Turner, back to Etienne. Blocked at the net, still going by Kurtz. Turner finds Etienne again. Free ball for the Crimson Storm. Megan Ellis, Smith, Thomas. Dug up by Turner. Kurtz again, blocked at the net by the Crimson Storm. Turner, and unable to get it quite is the Crimson Storm as they jump just a little bit too high. Tied back up at 1 apiece. Porsa back to serve for the Tigers. 1-1 is the score. Berlin, Smith, Benner, blocked at the net. And Terang couldn't quite get to that one in time. Tigers take the lead 2-1. Ellis digs it up. Smith. Thomas trying to get it past. Can't quite do so. Terang back to Smith. Back to Benner. Is going off the hands and they can't quite get to it. Crimson Storm tie it up. 2-2. Benner checks back out for Davis, who enters the game once again. She'll go back to serve. Here comes Turner, back to Kurtz. It's going to be a net violation on Bailey Terang. Tigers retake the lead. They have now got a little bit of momentum on their side. Kurtz back to serve again. Davis, Smith, Thomas off the hands. And they are able to get another point as the attack by the Tigers hits Elise Berlin in the shoulder. And Davis couldn't quite get there in time. Kurtz is still serving. 4-2 Tigers. And now 3-4 Tigers as that one flies out of bounds. Kurtz got a little bit too much on that one.
That's serve, number 6, Bailey Terang.
Bailey Terang now to serve. Turner sets up Araguen, who punishes Bailey Terang, who tried to go in for the dig. Tigers getting a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence right here as number 11, Brianna Waldo, checks back in. Etienne comes back in. Davis, Smith, Thomas, onto the court. Thomas with another kill. Crimson Storm still down by 1 point as McKenna Hunter checks back in. Thomas is still serving. Etienne to Turner. Waldo blocked at the net. Bailey Terang sets up Ellis. Tigers able to get that rather easily. Araguen. Smith tried to dump it in the middle. Davis back to Smith. Megan Ellis is blocked at the net. That's a combo of Turner and Araguen. Porsa checks out, and in comes Mackenzie Davis. Araguen to serve. Back to Terang. Smith. Hunter. It's able to be dug up, but not without great effort and off-speed attack. Crimson Storm now playing from behind, something they haven't done in this match. 4-7 now. Tigers ahead of the Storm. Araguen serving. Smith sets up Ellis. Off the hands. Megan Ellis stops the bleeding, but only for a little while. Crimson Storm trying to mount a comeback here as Benner checks back in, takes out Davis. Goes into the net. Kylie Smith with a service error. Turner back to serve now.
At serve, number 7, Taylor Turner.
Ellis able to just get under it. Free ball for the Tigers now as Berlin sends it over. Blocked by Crimson Storm. Should have let that one go, but nevertheless will go anyway. Megan Ellis with an off speed, able to be dug up. Kurtz able to get another attack down. Tigers playing with all the power, and Kevin Ingram has seen enough. Timeout by the Crimson Storm. While they go into a 1 minute, 10-second timeout, we'll take a quick look at the rest of the GAC and how those games are going. We believe every single team is at work today. 6 games going with all 12 teams playing tonight. However, 2 of them have already gone final. Southern Arkansas once again has their very short-lived winning streak snuffed out by Harding. They go to 12-1 on the year in conference. The team that they are behind, Arkansas Tech, is still perfect. They go to 13-0 in conference. They beat Arkansas Monticello with little effort. Now to the games that are going live over there in Durant. Southeastern Oklahoma State currently has a 2-0 lead on Northwestern Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma Baptist has the same score, 2-0 over Southwestern Oklahoma State. Looking at and the other game going on, besides the one here, which is tied at 1 apiece, 1 set apiece, over in Arkadelphia. In fact, it's the battle of the Arkadelphia schools, Ouachita and Henderson State. And Henderson State and Ouachita are currently tied at 1 apiece. A lot of action going on in the GAC this evening. Turner back to serve. Back to Ellis. Smith. And it hits the foot of the line judge. Crimson Storm not playing as well as they have. Not playing as well as they did in those first 2 sets. Tigers have all the momentum. They are currently at 5 points on the Crimson Storm. Smith is going to set up Terang from the mid-line, and she gets a kill. Bailey Terang hits it off the hand of a Tiger. Brings it back to 6-10. Ellis to serve and back to Turner. Berlin sets up Ellis at the net, and it is out of bounds. Kind of bounced weird, but the Tigers will gain the point. Checking in for Brianna Waldo is number 5, Abby Werman. Ellis to Smith, sets up Terang, off the hands. Bailey Terang with another point. 7-11 is the score in the 3rd set. Werman back to Turner to Etienne. Berlin to serve after the point for the Crimson Storm, and Elise Berlin sends a scorcher, which the Tigers can't take care of. Brings it back within 2. 9-11 is the score. Kurtz sends one back. Smith sets up Benner from the midpoint line. Turner gets the dump. Turner with a kill. Porsa back to Berlin. Sets up Terang onto the court. Split between Porsa and Werman. Crimson Storm down by 2 still, 12-10.
At serve, number 4, Hannah Davis.
Hannah Davis now to serve. Porsa, back to Turner. Sets up Araguen, and Hannah Davis just wasn't ready for it. 13-10 is the score. Tigers on top of the Crimson Storm, trying to take a decisive game or set 3, or a pivotal set 3. Smith with the dump, unable to be fooled. There's the Tigers back to Bailey Terang. Berlin, Smith, Thomas, still going. Araguen hits it out of bounds, and the Tigers are devastated that didn't stay in bounds.
Serve number 6, Bailey Terang.
Bailey Terang now serving. Picked up by Kurtz, back to Taylor, Etienne. Back to Berlin, Smith, Ellis. Porsa digs it up. Turner finds Etienne again. And it gets the line. East Central still holding on to a 2 to 3 point lead. Davis finds Smith. Thomas kind of just taps it over, easily taken in. Smith, Thomas, off the hand, still going. Porsa finds Waldo. Davis, Smith, Ellis. Porsa able to get that one well. Waldo again. Terang. Smith just tries to hit it over. Porsa back to Turner, back to Araguen. Terang. Davis kind of sends it over. Free ball. Araguen again. Off the hands of Bailey Terang. Point for the Tigers. 15-11 now. Etienne back to serve. Davis, Smith, Thomas. They are just not able to get it down as here comes Waldo again. Smith. Ellis blocked at the net, but they're going to give the point to the Crimson Storm as it landed on the right side for the Storm. 12-15 now. Crimson Storm just trying to claw their way back. Turner. Blocked at the net is Araguen. Porsa, a little bit of miscommunication. Ellis. Hunter right at the net, and she is able to get it after a little bit of a tug of war there there in the middle. Hunter gets another kill. She is now up to 7 kills on the night. Thomas sends it back. Here's Turner. Araguen sends it over, and Smith. Easy pickings for Araguen, who just taps it over the hands of the Crimson Storm. Araguen back to serve. Smith can't quite do anything as it is tapped over by the Tigers. Tigers have a 4-point lead as the timeout by Kevin Ingram is taking place. We'll take a break along with them here at SNUathletics.com. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. We are back at it. Terang gets the dig. Back to Terang in the middle. Ball goes high, but Turner's able to get back to it. Waldo with an off-speed attack. Smith now trying to hit it over. Now Tigers trying to rally behind it. Waldo. And Berlin unable to get to that. She struggled past the first set. Terang back to Smith. Ellis onto the court. Megan Ellis with that hot hand. Kylie Smith now to serve again. Turner is blocked at the net. McKenna Hunter with another kill, as it just went a little bit too close to the net. SNU able to rally. Now down by 3 is the Crimson Storm, 15-18. Kylie Smith serving. Turner finds that team. Megan Ellis, Smith. And they're going to get a double touch rule on the Crimson Storm. Point Tigers, 19-15 as they lead the Crimson Storm. Turner back to Berlin, to Smith, Benner. Turner able to get behind it. Porsa back to Kurtz. With the left hand is Ellis back to Benner. Unable to get it down in time. Waldo hits it into the net. Point Crimson Storm. Crimson Storm have struggled making runs this season. Megan Ellis to serve now. Turner. And that is Mackenzie Davis, who is unable to be contained. They get to 21st. It's the first time tonight. Ellis. Back to Smith, to Terang, blocked at the net. Smith sets up Ellis, off speed, onto the court. Megan Ellis keeps the score reasonable. Terang back to serve now. Crimson Storm desperately needing to string some points together. And Elise Berlin's going to get an ace. Puts it right in front. I believe that is Warman. And another 2-point violation on the East Central Tigers. Crimson Storm back within 1. Trying to string together a comeback similar to the ones the Tigers pulled. Excuse me. Turner. Free ball for the Crimson Storm. Berlin. Back to Smith. Thomas. Turner. Initially blocked at the net, but able to be, Crimson Storm unable to take care of it. Point from the Crimson Storm before the ball is even served, offsides. A call we don't see very often by the Tigers. Crimson Storm still within 1. Hannah Davis serving. Smith sets up Thomas at the net, still going. Smith sets up Terang, blocked in the net. Thomas, another Terang attack, off speed. Turner, Araguen. Berlin's able to get to it, and Smith tries to put it in the middle. She can't quite put it down. Etienne still going. Davis. Porsa able to get to it. Turner back to Kurtz, and it's still alive, and it just goes right past the line. Tried to do her best with that one. Couldn't quite get it to go to the direction she wanted it to. 22-20 now is the score. Tigers in front. They've led since early in the third set. I believe they've led since 3-2. Smith sets up to Rang. Off the hands. Still alive. Crimson Storm miss an opportunity. And a two-touch violation by the Tigers. Crimson Storm get the point. 22-21. Tigers in front. Coming in for the Crimson Storm, another player I have not called this year, number 22, Cammie Ware. A 5'4" freshman out of Pampa, Texas, from my neck of the woods in the Texas Panhandle. Ellis, back to Davis, who hits it out of bounds. 23-21 now. The Tigers hit the bottle point. As Ware checks back out. Just 1 point for Ware. For one moment, there were two Texas Panhandle girls on the court at the same time. Etienne back to serve. Davis, Smith, Thomas off speed, and Porsa can't quite get to that, neither can her teammates. Point for the Crimson Storm. Big time point right here. Trying to stave off a set point for the Tigers. Kayla Thomas back to serve. Turner is going to set up Araguen. Smith, too far. Set point for the Tigers. In a pivotal set 3. Bailey Sarang back to Smith. Ellis able to be corralled and not in time. Turner tried to get to it, as did Waldo. We're tied back up at 23-24 now. Crimson Storm trying to survive right now. Trying to be tied at 24 is the goal now. Smith to serve. Turner sets up Davis. Smith back to Ellis. Off the hand, still going. Turner blocked at the net by Ellis. Ellis having a big set, keeping the SNU in it. Timeout taken by Coach Anderson. We're tied up at 24 now. Similar situation that we had in the second set. This one just a little bit more valuable. We'll be right back here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Got a fun one here in the Sawyer Center. Tied at 24 now. First one to 2 wins. First one to get a 2-point advantage wins. Oh, look at that. McKenna Hunter waiting in the middle for the ricochet. Puts the Crimson Storm in front for the first time since 2-1. And not at a better time. That was Smith with the serve. Now that was Davis with the attack for the Tigers. Sets up, out of bounds. And the Crimson Storm faithful wanted a touch on that one, as I believe that was Benner with the attack. Tied back up at 25. So very close. Turner to serve now for the Tigers. Just a little bit of a touch in the middle. Michaela Benner. Michaela Benner with the kill. Set point for the Crimson Storm again. Ellis with the serve. Turners. Finding air. That was right in the middle. That was Brianna Waldo. Blocked at the net. Crimson Storm pick up the set win. 2 comebacks in a row. As the Crimson Storm had to battle back in the third set, East Central had to battle back in the second set. Crimson Storm now with an opportunity to finish it in 4. We'll be right back here on SNUathletics.com with the 4th set. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm roar back just as the Tigers did in the second set, but this time in the third set. They're now Up 2-1 in sets over the Tigers as we are starting and back up. Terang gets the first point. Crimson Storm have opened up scoring in every set so far. So they are trying to close this one out in 4 sets. We are in set 4. Bailey Terang with another kill. Megan Ellis back to serve. Hunter. Smith back to Hunter, into the net. Point for the Tigers. Hunter missing an opportunity there. 1-1 now. Karina Araguin. Now, or excuse me, that is Diana Etienne. Bailey Terang with another kill. She has the first 2 Crimson Storm points of the set. Another face we don't see very often. A lot of freshmen getting a lot of action today. Number 5, Michaela Emmert. 5'9" freshman out of Fort Worth, Texas, Fossil Ridge High School. As it shoots past Megan Ellis. Trading blows here in the 4th set. 2-2 now. Porsa now back to serve. The libero for the Tigers. Smith back to Terang. Couldn't quite get point number 3. Smith right in the middle. Porsa able to get to it, and they are able to get it over. Davis, Smith, Terang, out of bounds. Terang finally misfires. 3-2 now for the Tigers. Smith. Emmert is blocked at the net. Try to get a little bit of action. 4-2 now for the Tigers. Similar start to how we opened up the 3rd set. Porsa back to Ellis. Smith finds Terang and unable to get to it. I thought it hit the floor first, but Etienne able to get it off the floor. However, nobody able to save it from going into the stands. Callie Smith now back to serve. Down by 1, 3-4. Porsa back to Turner. And they are immediately calling the antenna as the ball made it wiggle. 4-4 now. Smith back to serve. Porsa back to Araguin. Benner is able to become right back. Smith. Terang on the outside. Porsa able to pick it up. Berlin able to shoot it past and finds the corner. Elise Berlin with the touch. Now with the way this match has gone so far, you're thinking it may not be a good idea to get that far ahead because the other team will come back. Blocked at the net. Bring back the Tigers. Araguin. Terang. Smith. Thomas. Or excuse me, that wasn't Thomas, that was Benner. Araguin is blocked at the net by Benner. And she is holding on to that hand as that one stung a little bit. Showing some discomfort out there. Smith. Porsa. Able to be saved by Kurtz. Benner to Smith. Back to Terang. Off the hands of Turner. And beyond the hands of Porsa. Point for the Crimson Storm. They are up 7-4. Trying to learn the lesson to finish it out here after getting a lead. 7-4 for the Crimson Storm. Smith back to serve. And off the hands of Kurtz. Porsa able to get to it, and so is Etienne, but not to anybody else as they use that 4-touch rule. Coach Melissa Anderson taking a quick timeout. They find themselves down 8-4 to the Crimson Storm. Crimson Storm trying to finish it in set 4. We'll be right back here on SNU Athletics. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center here on SNUathletics.com on Halloween night, where the scariest thing in Bethany is an attack from an SNU volleyball player. Smith to serve now. Goes off the hands of Porsa, and she can't hang on to it. Etienne couldn't quite get back in time. Point for the Crimson Storm. 9-4 now. Holding a big lead over the Tigers. Hopefully this time they are trying to finish the set on top with no threat of a comeback, but not before Kylie Smith hits one into the net. Kurtz gets the ball from a little helper down there, doing the shagging balls for us tonight. Smith back to Terang, able to be picked up by the Tigers. Smith back to Ellis. Flies inbounds. Thought for a second it was going out of bounds, but finds the line. Bailey Terang back to serve now. Up by 5, 10-5 now. That one flies out of bounds. So if East Central was angry about missing out on their 6th point in the last one, they immediately got it back. Serving now number 6, Micah Rogers, who is a senior out of Derby, Kansas, and a transfer from Labette Community College. She sends it into the net, so 2 nets back-to-back. Michaela Emmert back to serve now.
At serve, number 5, Michaela Emmert.
Turner finds Etienne. Etienne puts it down. Keeping it competitive here, in between 5 points. Pretty consistent lead for the Crimson Storm as they're just trying to keep it. 11-7, excuse me. Berlin, Smith, back to Ellis. Able to be dug up. Etienne off balance. Ellis trying to find the corner. No one's there except for Kurtz, who picks it back up. Terang. Now Benner's just going to hit this one over out of bounds. Now here come the Tigers, trying to come back. Number 9, Mayer back to serve now. Picked up by Terang. Smith, Benner, able to be brought back up. Etienne hits it off and just couldn't quite get it off the right side of her hand. Crimson Storm get the point. They are up 12-8 right now.
Serving for your Crimson Storm, number 4, Hannah Davis.
Hannah Davis to serve now. And an off-speed attack from number 12, Mackenzie Davis. Goes down for a kill. I think most of that was just a mistimed jump by the Crimson Storm, as number 3, Sydney Dungeon, re-enters the game. She's back to serve now. Berlin back to Smith, finds Ellis, who chaps it over, hits it off the chest, right there in the middle. McKenna Hunter sends it back, but here come the Tigers once again. Terang able to flip an arm out and get it out of there. Ellis able to get the kill as it flies into the stands over there towards a couple of SNU soccer players.
Serve, number 8, Megan Ellis.
Megan Ellis now to serve again. Her team up 13-9 on the ECU Tigers. Terang coming back with a kill off of Porsa's hands. Bailey Terang making an impact here in the 4th set. Bailey Terang has 13 kills on the night. She leads all players. Ellis to serve, not far behind Terang. She has 10 kills. Davis, Smith finds Terang again. put it down for 14. Back to serves Megan Ellis once again. Her team up 6, 15-9 in favor of the Crimson Storm. Headed to the back is McKenna Hunter, who finds the spot. No one's home as number 5, Werman, couldn't get there in time. Just kind of pushed it over towards that back corner. McKenna Hunter putting forth a great day. She has 9 kills on the night. Very productive day, hitting .412. Berlin gets the dig. Smith back to Terang. Couldn't quite get kill 15 on that one. Kurtz back to Ellis. Smith tries to find the corner, and she does. Smith puts it up. This is the largest lead SNU has had all night, with the exception of that 9-point win in the first set. Or excuse me, the 8-point win in the first set. So they have tied their largest lead of the night. Dungeon back to Davis. Here comes Terang. Back to Porsa. And she hits, and that is going to be a double touch off the Tigers. Point for the Crimson Storm. Now it's a 9-point lead. Now this is the largest lead of the night for the Crimson Storm. 9 points ahead, 18-9. Ellis back to serve. She's been serving for a while now. That one flies out of bounds. 10-point lead for the Crimson Storm. Ellis to serve again. Turner is finding Kurtz. Ellis able to get it off, and she can't get there in time. Hits it the wrong way, making sure her teammates check in to make sure that she's okay. The product out of Hereford, Texas, the freshman. Etienne back to serve. Smith back to Terang, who gets kill number 15. And no one's getting to that one. I don't care what level of volleyball you play at. No one is picking up that kill. Crimson Storm back up to a 10-point lead. They get to 21st. That time is number 14, Araguen. Gets down on the kill. 20-11 is the score as Porsa goes back to serve. Smith finds Terang. Got all back on that serve, and they just let it go. They knew it was going to be a 4-hit rule anyway. Back to a 10-point lead. Coming in for the Crimson Storm, another freshman getting a lot of the youngins in today. Number 10, Shelby Holcomb, an outside hitter, 5'9" freshman out of Hutto, Texas, a homeschool product. Turner flies out of bounds, an 11-point lead for the Crimson Storm. 22-11 now is the score. Kylie Smith going back. Flies out of bounds. Now looking on the court. Looking down there. 3 out of the 6 Crimson Storm players are true freshmen. Emmert and Holcomb and Ellis. All freshmen out of the state of Texas. Finds Terang. Finds the corner on an off speed. That's kill number 16. She has 5 kills better than her the second most kills on the night, which would be Araguen with 11. Berlin back to Porsa, able to pick it up. And easy pickings back, no one's home for number 9, Madeline Mayer. 10-point lead for the Crimson Storm as the Crimson Storm currently sitting on the bottle point. Coming in for the Tigers, number 4, Carson Robertson, another freshman out of Bowie, Texas. The young guns getting in some minutes today. Berlin. It's Soma who is checked back in. Soma, another freshman. Smith pushing it back onto the court. Crimson Storm match point coming up. 24-13, trying to put the statement on this night. That went from great to not so great, back to great again. Emmert back to serve, and it goes out of bounds. Emmert checks out for Elise Berlin. Bet she's happy to get on the court, get some experience. Trying to get this match point right here is Holcomb, who gets picked up. It's blocked at the net by a combo of Hunter and Holcomb. That's going to end the night for the Crimson Storm. They pick up the win inside the Sawyer Center and stop a 5-game losing streak. Crimson Storm pick up a 3-1 decision here in the Sawyer Center on Halloween. Final stats for this one coming up right now. On the East Central side, leading the way in terms of kills was Araguen with 11. She hit 20% on the night. Behind her, Waldo and Etienne both checked in with 7 kills each. 6 kills for Kurtz, 5 kills for Davis. Best hitting percentage on the night was Rogers at 100, 1 kill for 1 point. First one to put up substantial numbers in the best hitting percentage was, looking around here, was in fact Davis, who had 5 kills, hitting 25%. As a team, the Tigers hit 6%, just over 6.5% on the night. Crimson Storm hitting 13%. Leading the way in terms of leading the way for Diggs was Porsa, who had 27 on the night, followed by Kurtz with 17, Werman with 14, Turner with 10, and Etienne with 11. Followed by Dungeon, who also had 9. And assists, Turner led the way in assists with 30. Dungeon checked in with 7 assists of her own, and Dungeon's the only East Central team to record an ace on the night. On the other side, looking at SNU, it was just dominated by Bailey Terang again. I mean, Bailey Terang had a great night in terms of offense, and water is still wet. 17 kills tonight for Bailey Terang. Megan Ellis checks in with 10 kills, and McKenna Hunter has a respectful day at 9 kills. Bailey Terang hit 26%, so already hitting better than the best hitting percentage by a substantial offensive player for the Tigers. 41% for Hunter, 17% for Ellis, 3% for Benner, who checked back in. Haven't seen her in a long time. 14 digs for Davis, 22 digs for Berlin, 14 for Smith, 15 for Ellis, 19 digs for Bailey Terang, and 3 digs for McKenna Hunter. 3 digs as well for Soma, who puts in some nice numbers of her own. She also recorded an assist. On the assist side, Kylie Smith leads the way in assist. And if I'm checking here, she needed 13 assists. She needed 13 assists tonight to become the 13th player in school history to reach 1,000. Well, she blew out that out of the water. Kylie Smith ended the night with 14 assists. That is incredible. Also, looking around, she led the way and it wasn't even close. In terms of aces, Elise Berlin, Kylie Smith, and Bailey Terang all recorded aces. Bailey Terang had 1, Berlin had 2, and Smith had 3. Just a great night for the Crimson Storm, with the exception of that second set, which got away from them. That will just about do it for tonight inside the Sawyer Center. The Crimson Storm only have one more home game, and that will be on November the 7th here against Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs. Crimson Storm go on the road the day after tomorrow to Durant to play Southeastern Oklahoma State. Then they go down south to play a Division I team in Dallas Baptist. Then they come home, and then one more game against Oklahoma Baptist, their arch rivals there in Shawnee. And then trying to be in the top 8 to go to the GAC Championships and defend that title. So that will just about do it for all of us here on SNUathletics.com. For David Noblet and the rest of us, I am John Hale, reminding you to stay safe this Halloween, but most importantly, keep those bolts up. Y'all have a great night.